Evening all. My early visits to Japan to buy koi were just confusing. I didn't know how to speak Japanese, I didn't know how to understand Japanese. The faces to me of the breeders all looked alike, and the villages in which the breeders were situated all looked alike. Like I say, it was total confusion. Um, but eventually, by going back again and again and again, a few things slotted into place. Like I understood Tozai, Nisai, Sansai, Yonsai, Gosai, and so on. Um, I also learned to ask how much, and I also learned to say too much. I never asked the breeder to come down in price, ever. I've never done that. Instead, I just hoped that when I returned, this particular breeder would give me more favourable prices. Uh, um, anyway, in these early days, I did recall a guy who was who I usually saw on many occasions in Mushigame village, and we got to a state where we'd nod to each other or just do a small bow, and I believed he was an amateur koi collector coming to buy koi from the Yamakoshi breeders. One day he came over to me and bowed a little and presented me with a card. I bowed back and accepted the card, and although it was all written in kanji, so I couldn't read it, I couldn't understand it, I didn't know. However, when I took the card back to the hotel and asked the manager to translate for me, which he could, he said, "Oh, this gentleman is named Sakai Hiroji, and he owns a large fish farm in Hiroshima. He's also written on the back of the card in kanji, please visit me." Well, I made my first visit to Sakai Fish Farm in Hiroshima in autumn 1982. Although it was a hell of a journey from Tokyo to get to Mihara City on the bullet train. Even the express bullet train took about 5 hours to complete. So I checked in the Mihara Kokuzai Imperial Hotel and waited until the next day when an agent would take me to see koi farms in the area. The first place I was taken to was Kure Town, Kure, and there was a koi outlet right on the main street there, and this was owned by the late father of Omosako. I bought several koi from this guy, and we later went to his house nearby, and his son tried to explain to me that he would later specialize in producing Shirottsuri varieties, and he would buy his stocks, his parents' stocks, from Hiroji Sakai at Sakai Koi Farm. Well, we did eventually get to Sakai Fish Farm, which was a two-hour drive from Kure Town. And there again I met Hiroji Sakai. To say I was blown away is an understatement. This guy had every variety in every size. It was a huge operation, and Hiroji Sakai had this fire inside of him that said he would become the best koi breeder in the world. At that time, Hiroji Sakai's biggest customer was a guy called Michio Maeda, who owned a huge chain of fast food restaurants throughout Japan. And like I say, he was Hiroji Sakai's biggest customer. He later went on to form his own koi farm called Momotaro. The enthusiasm at Sakai Fish Farm was more than I'd ever seen anywhere before. It was I can't explain. It was vibrant. He had all these plans and to do, and kept trying to explain them to me, and through interpreters I got to learn he planned to heat the entire outlet, all the ponds in the outlet, and it would cost a fortune to do so, but he was intent on doing it to extend the growing season. There's little more I can say, but as the years went on, we got to understand each other a lot more clearly. Like I say, it was initially confusion, and then the more times you return, the more times you understood more things, and that's how it continued. Thanks for listening.